I made my very first YouTube video last week about turning 30 and all of the stuff that I learned in my 20s and how far I've come and how I've learned these grand lessons. But what really did I learn? I mean, I went through a lot of stuff. I went through a lot of ups and downs, but what if it was just some random stuff that could have really happened to anybody and it all actually meant nothing and it's just a part of some cycle simulation that we're on? I mean, that is a possibility, because when you think about it, all I really learned in my 20s was that people suck, and anybody that you get close to will inevitably let you down while you spend the rest of your life searching for the love that your parents could not give you. While I may have left my 20s bitter and tainted and become that bitter millennial, I think I had somewhat of a good takeaway from my 20s, and I think that I did learn a few good things that not only got me through my 20s, but I will continue to use in life as I go forward and learn new stuff. So I figured I will share a little bit of what I think I know and a little bit of what I think I learned, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's about going through all the stuff and then helping somebody else out along the way. So I have to repeat history and start this whole cycle thing over again. I guess that's kind of the point, right? I don't know. But one thing that I do know is that I'm here to just share. I'm here to just share whatever it is that I think I've learned and whatever it is that I think might be a little bit useful, so you don't have to go through the same stuff that I went through. And even if you do, maybe you'll do it a little bit better than I did. So it seems as though our biggest thing, and one thing that I really took away, is that love is really all that anybody's ever looking for, right? Like, love is the only thing that essentially matters, because it can really make or break the world, people, things, relationships, and not having relationships, love and not having love is really all anyone ever talks about. And while I believe love is just a beautiful moment that you get to share with someone, and the true love story is with yourself, because the only way that you can really experience real love is when you know what you deserve. And you really don't know what you deserve until you love yourself. So I do believe that your greatest love story is the one that you have with yourself. I think the moments that we get to have with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, husband, wife, those are beautiful as well. And heartbreak does happen. You create these expectations and you think that somebody is going to be this person to you and for you, and they don't end up meeting, those standards that you thought. Now, is it that you created this idea of what you think love is or what you think this person is before you actually got to know the person? Or are they just really a shitty person? I mean, that is typically the case. But I've really more so witnessed that we create these ideas that we think this person is going to be, and we create this fantasy in our head of what we think being with them is going to make our life look like. And when it doesn't happen like that, that's when we get disappointed. That's when we create, this sense of failure, this sense of, well, now I'll never find love because this one person didn't work out. You put all of your everything into this one person. So now this one specific thing didn't work out. So now every single person you meet, you're never going to find love again. I highly doubt that. But in the off chance that does happen, not everybody is meant to be in a relationship. I truly believe that there are some people that will spend the rest of their life single. There are some people who got lucky and met the love of their life in high school, got lucky, met the love of their life in college, or they end up just settling for someone who has enough money, someone who is nice enough, someone who is good looking enough, and they create the kind of life that they want around that person. I don't necessarily agree with that, but hey, to each their own, right? So I feel like all in all, really, love is just one of those things that you kind of have to find for yourself, within yourself. And I know everyone says that all the time, like you can't love anyone until you love yourself. And I don't necessarily agree with that, because I think that I can love tens and thousands of different people and not actually have love for myself. But the love that I give so freely to others, I should be giving to myself. And because I don't love myself, I am allowing people to walk over me. I'm allowing people to, hurt me. I'm allowing people to lie and cheat and steal and do all of those things because I don't love myself. That doesn't mean that I can't love them. I'm just allowing them to love me any kind of way. But I feel like that's kind of what I've taken away from, love in my 20s and love while you're young, is that it can be so beautiful, and it can suck, and it can hurt, and it can not make sense, and it could, be the greatest thing. It can be the worst thing. Just take each person for what they are and really get to know the person. Hopefully you get to find the person you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with, not the idea that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. And hopefully you get to work on yourself along the way, because I really believe that the world is just not set up for us to succeed. And if we never really focus on ourselves and we don't fight for the life that we want, and we don't expect the hard work to speak for us. Maybe you're super talented and you think that'll work, but hard work beats talent every single time. So you gotta fight for the life that you want. You have to fight for yourself, and you have to fight for who you wanna be in the end and who you see your future self being. I truly believe that not everything that you pictured in life that you think you want is going to end up, happening. And sometimes we think we want one thing, and it turns out that something completely different comes along that doesn't look like how we thought it would look, but it's exactly what we need. So you have to always understand. And one thing that kept me going is that what is for you is gonna be for you. It doesn't really matter. What's for you is gonna be for you, but you gotta fight for the life you want. You gotta work towards the person that you wanna be, because you can't settle. You can't just settle for a life that you think you deserve, because nobody owes you anything. This world owes you absolutely nothing. You don't actually deserve anything. Why do you think you deserve all of this stuff if you're not even gonna work for it? So you cannot ever settle. And if you do, you can't blame anybody else for something not happening or things not going the way that you want it to, because you never actually worked for it. Again, nobody owes you anything, and nothing's just gonna fall out of the sky for you. And even if it's just later in life, at least you try. You gotta keep going, you gotta keep trying. Even if you find yourself at 28 years old and you're like, man, I still haven't figured it out what I want to do. That's fine. There's no timeline. It's really about the journey, and it's really about everything that you collect along the way. It's not always about where you end up or who you end up with or the job that you end up with. Sometimes it's all about the experience and learning and getting to that point, but you got to work for it, and you got to fight for it. And you got to really go back to loving yourself, because when you love yourself and when you really put into yourself and you pour into yourself, you know what you deserve. Don't let things stop you. By loving yourself, you accept yourself. Accept yourself for exactly where you're at, exactly who you are in this moment. You might not have the perfect body, you might not have the perfect hair, you might not have the perfect anything, because one, that doesn't exist, and two, that's unrealistic. You are beautiful the way that you are, and that's perfectly fine how you are, but accept yourself for how you are. So when you do, if you do want to lose weight, that's great. you work towards that, but you need to love yourself for how you are right now. If you do at some point maybe want to get surgery, that's perfectly fine, but love who you are in the moment right now and accept who you are, because you're perfect the way you are. And at some point you can always improve yourself, but don't let anything stop you from living your life now because you don't accept how you look. So you don't wear that bathing suit, you don't eat that burger, you don't, wear your hair like this, or you don't wear heels because maybe you're too tall. Well, sweetheart, you can't change that. So you might as well just wear it and step on every single person that you walk past, because you're beautiful the way that you are. And I know confidence is a hard thing to have, especially in a world that shows us that we have to look a certain way, be a certain way, and fit a certain mold. But at the end of the day, I truly have learned, and I stand by, I think turning 30 just kind of puts all of that kind of stuff in perspective. Is like, this is who I am, and this is how I look, and this is what you get. You either like it or you don't. I don't care. Like, life is too short to worry about all the things we really can't change. I can't change how tall I am. I can't, I could lose weight and I could try my best to lose weight, but if I'm not happy with who I am, me losing weight is not gonna make me happy, right? So, overall, my biggest takeaway is that you gotta accept yourself for who you are. You cannot spend your entire 20s and then, in your life going forward, hating yourself. It is like the worst feeling ever. And trust me, I know. Stay tuned for that. I know that hating yourself and being insecure and holding yourself back because of what you think people might say, but really, you're the only one who ever really knows that you're insecure. You're the only one who knows that you don't think you look good in that dress. You're the only one who knows that you don't maybe look good in those pants. Nobody else is really thinking about that except for you. And nobody's gonna know that unless you say that to them. So I think that we have to just stop being so hard on ourselves and enjoy the 20s that you have, enjoy the life that you have, and understand that nothing is really as serious as we make it. And most things are temporary, and at the end of the day, it's gonna be okay. That's really all it comes. The love that you lost, maybe the job that you lost, maybe the money that you don't have, maybe family members suck and the people that come into your life have let you down. At the end of the day, those people weren't meant to be there. And the life that you want is around the corner, but you cannot give up on yourself. You gotta keep fighting for yourself, and you gotta keep fighting for the love that you want. And don't forget, all of that love that you give so freely to other people, you have to give it to yourself. And understand that you gotta accept yourself for who you are, the way that you are right now. And the life that you want is just around the corner. And I promise you, it is gonna be okay. I promise you, it's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. At some point down the line, when you least expect it, everything is gonna fall into place the way that it should. I promise you. Don't take my word for it. Don't believe me. That's fine. But later down the line, you're gonna be like, she was right. It was gonna be okay. And we think that maybe it's never gonna get better. I promise you, it will. Until then, I hope that you come back for more, and I hope that you like this video. I am going to just keep creating content, and everything is going to come together for me. I gotta believe that, because I really, really know that this is something that I'm meant to do. How are you supposed to end these things? I have no idea. Like, share, subscribe, and I can't wait to just share more of what I've been through, stories, all of the things. So make sure that you subscribe and you come back for the next video next week. Bye guys.